We're excited about the growth, the testimonials, literally tens of thousands of testimonials coming in. And here's what's amazing. Um, the company that provides the raw ingredients spent over $50 million. Think about that. $50 million and took over 10 years of research before they brought this product to market. Somewhere around 10 studies, and they still have more studies going on right now as we speak. They're still spending millions of more dollars in research as we speak. But there's 13 FDA claims on this product. That is almost never the case. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen it in the history of my 30 plus years in this industry that you have a nutraceutical that spent this type of money, taken 10 plus years of research before they even sell it. So you have to look at it. They went literally tens of millions of dollars out of pocket developing this product in order to make sure of all the benefits and exactly what it could do for everybody. And that doesn't happen most of the time in nutraceuticals because the FDA does not approve nutraceuticals, and most companies aren't spending tens of millions of dollars on research so that you can prove what the product does. You might have to say it might help with this, or it can do this, or something. You can't say that it does this or it does that. We have 13 different things that we can say this product does this and it does this. And here's the thing that I really want to point out so that you understand. There's only a couple of those that have anything to do with weight loss. This is so much bigger than a weight loss or what we call a fat loss product that I don't even know if that's the biggest benefit in this product. This is literally something that every single person should be taking and will benefit from every single day. And whether you need to lose weight, you don't need to lose weight, you want to control inflammation, you don't have any inflammation. The bottom line is every single person needs to become more preventative instead of curative. So it's much better to have everything working perfectly in your body and start taking a product like this than to wait until you need this product to take care of some problems and symptoms and things like that you have. So this again is something that we're all in on. I personally think it's the hottest product that's ever hit, not the network marketing industry, that's ever hit the nutraceutical or the pharmaceutical market in the world. And so here's what I want you to think about. The GLP-1 peptides are the number one selling pharmaceutical in the world. And I'm going to tell you why. It's the most effective weight loss product in the history of the world. There's never been anything that's even close. So when you think about that, and when you start to understand what type of worldwide problem is this, and the obesity going at 60, 70% of the world population, not just the United States, and diabetes, type 2 diabetes, now they call Alzheimer's and dementia type 3 diabetes, they're all related. And this is a product that was literally designed to help with that. That's why they created the pharmaceutical, to help with type 2 diabetes, type 3 diabetes, and help people that were severely overweight lose the weight. And now the research going into Eli Lilly, just so that you have some information of what's going on over the last couple of years. So GLP-1 is the current most popular pharmaceutical in the world. And it's, again, a massive nutraceutical. And then Eli Lilly came out with the first dual agonist called Zepbound, which is growing very fast right now. They're also the creators of Wegovy that does about $13 billion a quarter in sales, one of the top selling GLP-1s. But they're doing research on a triple agonist, 3 different pathways. And hopefully that sounds familiar to all of you guys. They've spent, it doesn't even say how much they've spent, but it does say this. They've put aside over $50 billion, $50 billion with a B, for manufacturing once it's approved as a drug. That's the type of market they think is the people are looking for a triple agonist or a 3-pathway GLP product. Because right now on the nutraceutical or the pharmaceutical, actually on the pharmaceutical side, it does not exist. They'll be the first one. And it says that it's going to sell between $1,000 and $1,800 for a month's supply. So $1,000 to $1,800. 100% synthetic, dozens of known side effects. They have $50 billion set aside just for manufacturing. That's not to do with the marketing. Again, look at the literally tens of billions of dollars they're spending on ads, celebrities, all of those different types of things. You almost can't watch a show without seeing, 5 or 6 or 10 or 20 different GLP-1 ads from all of the different brand names that are out there now. And so we're not talking about $50 billion for marketing and all of that. We're talking about they've set aside $50 billion just for the manufacturing, and they're going to sell it between 1,000 and 1,800. And there's many known side effects. It's 100% synthetic, and it's an injection. Now let's look at what we have with triGLP. We have the first triple pathway GLP product, 100% natural, patented, with over $50 million of research, 10 plus years, around 10 studies that are published, 13 FDA claims, and basically doing very similar results with something that is more than 95% less expensive. Think about that. You have the pharmaceutical, $1,000, $1,800. We're more than 95% less expensive than that, 100% natural with no known side effects. And we have the exclusive rights to take this to the entire world. If you don't see that as the biggest opportunity you've ever been part of, you're not paying attention. This is the biggest opportunity that any of us have ever had the ability to be part of. Meaning, if we just get 2 or 3% of the market share, we will be a top 5 network marketing company in the world. If we get 5 or 10%, we will be the largest network marketing company in the world. And how do you not get 10, 15, 20% of the market share when you're more than 95% less expensive? And you have the same types of studies with 13 FDA claims, no known side effects, compared to something that costs literally more than 10 times the amount. So you're talking about something that is more like 15 times the amount, many known side effects, 100% synthetic, and we only need to get maybe 2 or 3% market share to be the largest network marketing company in the entire world. Again, if you don't see that as a massive opportunity, this product basically cannot be copied. This is not like your typical herbs and vegetables and fruits and things like that you have 2 hemispheres in the world. When it's summer in one hemisphere, it's winter in the other, and vice versa. So year-round around the world, you have a year-round growing season. Most fruits and vegetables and herbs and plants and things like that can be harvested several times per year. And then you have both sides of the world. So you can be harvesting many times per year on all of these products. Now let's look at salmon. The processing of the salmon is a 4 to 5 year process. So from going to the egg to processing and eventually becoming the peptides that we're taking to the world, it's 4 or 5 years. Everything else is like 2 or 3 months. You have to have a massive amount of salmon in order to create enough of this raw material in order to do the business. And the salmon has to be totally clean, which doesn't exist in nature. This, again, is virtually 100% sushi grade salmon, meaning it's completely safe to eat raw. It doesn't have the diseases. It doesn't have the heavy metals. It doesn't have any of that. It's virtually impossible to duplicate. Even if you had the technology, which is patented, so you couldn't do the same way, even if you could figure out another way to go from the salmon to these peptides without infringing on the patent and figuring all of this out, and then go and make sure that it is as effective, so you're going to be willing to spend tens of millions of dollars and take maybe a decade to figure out if it's even effective. And by then, we'll be so far ahead of anybody else in the marketplace that it's not even close. So what this entails for you right now is this is the time to go all in. This is the time when millionaires, multimillionaires are created in a very short period of time. It does not happen every decade or even every couple decades. When you have the hottest product in the world for sale at more than 90% less 100% natural, no known side effects, 50 plus million spent, 10 plus years, 10 plus studies, 13 FDA claims. And now what I'm going to talk about is what I'm probably more excited about than anything I have been in my 30 plus year career in network marketing. And we've launched some products that have done billions of dollars in sales and have created dozens of multimillionaires. People making more than $1 million per year, $2, 3, 4, $5 million per year. I've created products that have done that. None of them are anywhere near the potential that we have here. So what started being the first day of production was today, June 30th, 2026, will be a day to remember. Some of the people, I was not there, some of the people were there. I think Demetrius and Ashley, or at least Demetrius, I think was down there and getting some of the very first sticks in existence. I know Jason and Jesus and some other distributors were there. So today, the very, very first day in the history of Origin, we're actually running the final product of Ignite. Again, I couldn't be more excited about that. Some people are, well, why are you launching Ignite? What's the purpose of that? So I want to talk a little bit about it, talk a little bit more about the launch and what you can expect. The reason we're launching it, again, is now that we have the full exclusive worldwide rights and we have access to all the studies and the patents and everything like that on this product, people are reading all of the studies and they're seeing that the dosages in the studies are fairly high, anywhere from 2 grams all the way up to 16 grams. And all the studies were done on a powder. They weren't done on the concentrate. Now, here's the reason that we went with the concentrate, is we had a very short runway for an exclusive on the product, and we didn't know 100% if we were going to get a long-term exclusive on Progo, on these amazing peptides. But what we did know is that we can get the exclusive on the extract process. And the extract process that we use is in my opinion, hands down, the best extract process in the entire world. There's 2 different patents on it. It is water soluble. It's not in oil. It doesn't use any alcohol. It's as clean as you can possibly do an extract. And again, the assimilation and the absorption that is available because of our extract and because of the technology is second to none. So what we knew, and the reason that we launched the extract instead of the powder to start, is because we had a very limited exclusive right on the product, and we didn't know if we would get it. And if every distributor knew everything that happened from April through the end of May to get it done, we didn't know 100%. But that's why we went with the extract, because we knew that even if somebody else has Progo, we're going to have a fantastic story with our extract process, the patented extract, the better absorption, and all of those types of things. But now we have the best of both worlds, because we have the amazing product that we've already sold hundreds of thousands of bottles and tens of thousands of testimonials. And now we have the powder, which is exactly what the studies were done on. And here's something that I wish I had on video for every single person to see. The company, again, traded the powder and they flavored it. And then I brought samples of what we had. And there was probably, when we was in Norway, there was probably maybe 20 or 30 different people there. Most of them bankers, because again, they're a public company and they're raising money for some other research and some things that they're doing on cancer. That's absolutely incredible, unbelievable, the research and what they're doing with these amazing ingredients all coming from salmon. So there's a bunch of bankers there, and there's some other people that have been part of the company for 20 plus years, and so they gave us some samples of their powder that they had, and I said, hey, do you care if I make this up so that you can see what we've created and what we would like to launch and take to the world? And as soon as we made it up, the people started drinking it, and almost every one of the people that was there, Sean was there, Robert was there, so they could tell you the same thing. They was asking, man, this is absolutely incredible. What's in it? What's it sweetened with? They couldn't believe that we were using all natural flavoring, all natural sweeteners, no sucralose, no, nothing unnatural in the product, because the taste was significantly better than what they had created. And they were all asking, hey, how can I get my hands on some of this? So here's what's exciting about Ignite. And here's why I think even though the triGLP is absolutely incredible and the results speak for themselves, what we're going to be able to do sampling and getting this out into the market, because here's what we know. Peptides are as big as it gets in nutraceutical and pharmaceutical. It's the biggest in the nutraceutical side, and it's the biggest in the pharmaceutical side. The biggest peptides by far are the GLP peptides. GLP-1, that's the biggest by far. But what's more popular than just the GLP-1 is now the multi-pathways, where we have 3 pathways, and that, as of now, does not exist in the pharmaceutical world. They have a single pathway, they have a dual pathway. They're trying to get approved the triple pathway. We already have it. Far ahead of them. They probably won't have it until maybe sometime next year. And again, it's going to be $1,000 to $1,800. It's completely synthetic, and there's a whole bunch of known side effects. So we have the triple pathway to take to the world. Everybody's hearing about this. If you look at the research side, and the research only side is probably going away. There's so many problems with that because it's so popular that there's so many companies trying to get their piece of the pie that you don't even know what is being made. And the average human is not going to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars to buy this research peptide and then take it to a lab to make sure what you're actually getting. And people are getting who knows what and then injecting it into their body and crossing their fingers, and literally they're doing research. They're doing research on themselves. And that's maybe not the smartest thing to do. But there's literally tens and tens and tens of millions of people and tens of billions of dollars being spent with people literally injecting themselves with who knows what, crossing their fingers that it's what they think that it is, and that it's not going to cause irreversible damage, literally doing research on themselves. Think about that. That shows you how much people want the results that this type of product is bringing to the world. There is not another version in the world, 100% natural, patented, triple pathway GLP product. And even on the research peptides, the people are researching on themselves, again, think about that. We're 75, 80 to 90% less expensive than they are. No known side effects, worldwide rights, never been a product this big. And now we can talk to people all over the world that all are looking for this product and say, hey, would you like a sample of the first ever triple pathway, all natural GLP patented product that has over 13 FDA claims, tastes fantastic, no fillers, no synthetics, everything's natural, natural sweeteners, natural flavorings, natural product. And now we can give these samples out to anybody that we come in contact with. Let's think of some of the fastest moving companies that have created, millionaire after millionaire after millionaire, and what they did. Let's look at OrganoGold, one of the fastest growing network marketing companies ever. Their main system, literally almost their entire system, was sampling many multi-millionaires, creating a healthier coffee with 80 milligrams of Ganoderma. That's not an effective dose of Ganoderma for anybody on the planet. Not effective at all. Thank goodness our brains and our minds are so powerful that there is a such thing as a placebo effect. Because to get any benefits of Ganoderma, you're taking grams, not milligrams, and definitely not 80 milligrams. That is an absolute joke. Billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars spent on a supposed healthy coffee with 80 milligrams of Ganoderma. That's a joke. Now let's look at a company like Prove It. Bringing in, again, perfect timing. The ketogenic diet becoming very popular. And the average person using so little common sense that they don't understand what is ketosis. What is ketogenesis? And company, one of the fastest growing companies, selling a 10-day supply for around $150. So $450 for a month's supply. Not even close to as effective for fat loss or weight loss as a GLP-1 drug. Never even went to be a drug because it wasn't effective enough. And you're talking about ketosis, which simply means that you drank ketones and now you have ketones in your urine and ketones in your blood. Ketosis has absolutely nothing to do with burning fat, has absolutely nothing to do with losing weight. What does it have to do with? It has to do with having an absolutely fantastic supply for energy and a fantastic source to feed the brain. So if you're going to market that as like a nootropic, it's fantastic. It's as good as it gets. People drink it, they feel it, and they love it. But marketing it as a weight loss and specifically a fat loss product, it's not the same thing. That's ketogenesis. That's when your own body is creating ketones from your fat and then using that as energy. Ketosis is nothing like that. And yet putting together a sample program and telling people that this product will put you into ketosis in minutes to an hour. And if you do a ketogenic diet, it's going to take maybe 3 or 4 days to go into ketogenesis. Not even close to the same thing. But because people do no research, have very little understanding, they think that ketosis and ketogenesis are the same thing, not even close to the same thing, not even similar to the same thing. But they did hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars per year in sales, billions of dollars in sales, and now sold to Herbalife. And there is not even a comparison from either one of those examples, to what we have our hands on right here. And so we are extremely excited to start getting this to the world on the 250th anniversary of the United States of America, the #1 economy in the entire world. And we are doing pre-orders. It looks like the one thing we're still waiting for is the actual pouches that the stick packs will come in. They're scheduled to be here anytime, so within the next 2 or 3 days, but we don't have them yet. So there could always possibly be delays or something, but we should have them very soon. So we know for sure we'll be shipping within 2 weeks of the pre-orders, but it's very possible that we'll be shipping by mid next week, so just a couple days after people order. And this pre-order launch is starting in the United States, Canada, UK, Australia, and New Zealand. As soon as we have the product in inventory, it's already registered in the EU, so we'll be shipping that to Europe for the entire European Union. We'll be shipping it to our freight forwarders and our shipping company that handles all of Eurasia. And then we'll be shipping it to Mexico, Central, and South America. And we plan on it being available for shipment in early to mid-August in all of those other countries. So that the pre-orders will be United States, Canada, UK, Australia, New Zealand, starting this Saturday, midnight Eastern time. So depending on where you're at in the world, it could be Friday morning, or it could be late Thursday night, 9 p.m. if you're on the West Coast, 10 p.m. if you're Mountain Time like we are here in Utah, 11 if you're Central, and then midnight if you're Eastern Time. It will go live. This is not like what we did with the triGLP, where we put up 5,000 bottles for sale. They sold out in an hour. This isn't putting a certain number for sale. This is the launch of what we feel is going to be the biggest product in the history of network marketing. I don't think anything's had this potential. I think we have the leadership. I think we have the infrastructure worldwide to get these samples out. We have the technology with Closer to create more exposure than everybody else. I see that some people are asking about customers. We will not do pre-orders for customers. Customers will be when the product is in stock and shipping within, 1 business day, which again should hopefully will be next week. But we will not be doing pre-orders for customers. Again, distributors understand the pre-order situation and want to get in and get it ordered as soon as possible. On customers, we want to make sure if a customer orders that it's going to ship within 24 hours, or 1 to 2 business days at the most. So as soon as we have the product actually in inventory and shipping out, then we will turn it on for customers. So this will be available on a brand new system called Ignite 750. This will be available on Origin, and this will also be available on BEpic. So those will be the places that you can purchase the Ignite product if you're in one of the markets that I mentioned. Midnight Eastern time on the 4th of July, again, the United States 250th anniversary. What perfect timing to launch a product like this. And so again, super excited to meet with as many people in person as we possibly can to share the vision, to show the product, to the marketing concepts, and being able to meet with the corporate members, and at the same time some of the top leaders from around the world. So again, we have July 11th, Los Angeles, July 18th, which isn't part of this Origin tour, but July 18th, we're going to be in Durban, South Africa, with some of our great leaders from South Africa. Then August 1st in Houston, Texas. August 22nd in Guadalajara, Mexico, which will be probably our second largest event. And then Orlando, which is worldwide welcome launch of Origin, where we feel that everything will be done with the pioneering stages, inventory under control, closer working as good as it's going to be. Obviously, closer is always going to be getting better because the AI is constantly learning as it's every single day it's learning from every post, from every engagement, from every interaction, and getting better and better. So again, the technology we have to get more exposure than any other company with AI, the product that we have, which again is a bigger market than anything else of its kind by far, not by a little bit. When you look at what GLP-1 pharmaceuticals did, it's estimated between 132 and 140 billion last year. Adderall did 20 billion, Viagra did 8 billion. So you're talking about some of the largest drugs in the world, not even in the same ballpark of the GLP-1. And that isn't even close to what they're expecting in the next 3 to 4 years. And there's an estimated 10% of Americans on a GLP-1 and another 33% that are currently looking. And what are they looking for? In most cases, they're looking for a safer, more affordable alternative. That's exactly what we are. We're a safer, more affordable alternative to take the hottest product in the pharmaceutical and the nutraceutical side to the entire world. So hopefully this gives you guys a little bit of information of what we're doing, why we're so excited, and why we are very confident that we will be a top 5 company in the entire industry. And I don't think that it's far out of reach to be the largest company in the industry with the AI technology we have, the leadership we have around the world, the infrastructure we have around the world, and again, a product that now we can literally sample to anybody we come in contact with. We can sell 3-day supplies for $15 and double, triple your money. There's so many systems and so many techniques and so many strategies that we're going to be putting out, and that's one of the reasons we're doing this Origin tour, is to go over these strategies and these concepts in the training so that you have so many different ideas of what you can do to go out there and get your business going and teach your team what to do. And again, success leaves clues, and we're going to give you all kinds of clues. So with that, Craig, I'll go and turn it over to you. Thank you guys so much.